welcome back to Working on the Rover. It's an unfeasibly hot Sunday afternoon, so naturally I'm out here suffering in the sunshine. I'll apologise right now if you can hear an incessant rage and annoyance-inducing drone in the background. There is a neighbour that way who seems to have bought themselves a bouncy castle, so now it's like living next to a fun fair, which is not annoying at all. So, cracking on with the V8. Right, since last time I've done a bit of shopping. We have now got in our sweaty little mitts hose pipes to connect up to the heater matrix. I found some hoses which I think are the radiator hoses, an oil filter which I think is the correct oil filter. We've already had a double up on the coil, but most importantly, filling in the random holes on the front of the engine. This one, turns out it was the clamp for the distributor. How can I have forgotten that? That was the reason I took the car off the road in the first place, because every time I stopped the car I had to undo that and twist the distributor back into the correct time. And secondly, there are two oil sender pressure sender sensors down here, and I've only got the one. One was £9 and one is £90. Can you guess which one I had to buy? Yeah, the £90 one, of course I did. This was 90 quid, I think it was, an insane amount of money. And this is the one that sends oil pressure off to the dashboard, and also significantly stops oil falling out of the engine. So it's quite important for two reasons. Now, the more observant of you may have noticed, this is floating in the air, and I've gone down from a merch t-shirt to my scruffy old Shadowhawk t-shirt, which means I'm going under the car, hopefully for the last time, apart from the exhaust, drivetrain, or whatever else is broken, because we're going to connect up the last of the gear selector rods today, and then do all the stuff on top. Right, I don't know if you can see particularly clearly or not, but that is the socket I need to be plugging the threaded end of this bar into, and the other end, oops, needs to go to just there, which is the bottom of the gear stick. So, first off, oops, I'll try and do this one-handed while I'm holding. Can I screw that back into there? Yes, I can. Oh, did not think that was going to work. Okay, good. Ow, banging my head quite a lot now. Ow, face full of stuff. Speedo cable's come out. Oh, can I get some without breaking it? Here's the question. Or get a face full of goo. Oh, couldn't get that to squeeze into there. But then I had one of those, oh yeah, moments. Why don't I, oops, unbolt, oops, this bit from here and fit it off the car, and then just bolt this bit back in. That'd be much easier if I can find the right spanner. In case anyone is wondering about the braking system on this car, I was having a fresh looking copper pipe. When I recommissioned this car the first time with 3.5 litre in it, all the brakes were renewed completely back then. Well, like this I imagine will be much easier not lying, oops, I say that. It's much easier not lying upside down, getting bits in my eyes. It still actually turns out to be quite hard. There we go, done. 2 seconds. So, take two. Now, oh, that Speedo's come out of the blooming gearbox, that's annoying. Let's try and get this back into the selector. And this is pushed all the way forward, which I hope is park, because it's on park in the car inside. Although this is the rod that came out of the gearbox, so in theory, it should be exactly the same, because the lengths do line up. Oops. Go on, get in there. Lovely. I'll give you a quick squiz at that. Just there. Easily done. So let's pop the washer and thingy back on there now. There's no washer on it, that's interesting. Put myself back on a boil washer and done, because I'm covered in oil now. This car has self-protected itself from rust by leaking lots of oil everywhere. Let's get a couple of 7/16 spanners again. That's a 5/8 width, 7/16 go. Ow! Damn it! Ow! Spanner in the face, that really hurts. We now have a gear selector. Right, let's pop this, oh no, Speedo, damn it, Speedo's drive, that's annoying. That is, that bit just there has popped out, or I guess more been pulled out by the gearbox being lowered. Let's raise the gearbox up again. How on earth am I going to do this? It was really tricky the first time around. Did not want to go in at all. There's a few jobs. Once this car is actually running, I'm going to take it for a thorough inspection and MOT at my friend Trevor's garage, because he's built and restored a bunch of hot rods and cars and things. So he's used to putting cars back on the road, recommissioning cars, and I want someone to go over the thing and fix stuff I haven't fixed properly. Oh, that's no good. That's just wound the collar all the way onto the... Oh, that's just annoying. Right, now hopefully for the last time for a little while, I can bolt the drive shaft and gearbox mounts back together again. Is that the right thing? Yes, I don't believe it is. Will it go through? No, it won't. I do hope I'm bolting this all back together and I've got the gear shift in the right place and I can take it out of park. Because that'd be really annoying if I do all this, bolt it all up, and I can't get the thing out of gear. I needed a bigger washer on that. Right, the axle stands are out, so moment of truth time. If I put this in neutral, will it roll? Does the gear selector actually work? Right, so where is the selector? So here is the selector. So park, reverse, neutral. Please move. It's not, oops, it's not moving. Let's do this again. Park, reverse, neutral. Oh, damn it. Ah, the gear shifter doesn't go back far enough. That means it's not adjusted right. It's only going back as far as probably drive or something. That's annoying. Reverse, neutral. So that's in the neutral position here in the car. See if it matches up. Oh, hang on. Handbrake back on. Wheel is chocked. Let's see, once again. This is more aggravation than I really wanted today. Ow. 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 There's a bit of adjustment to be done on this. Oh, this is annoying. I need to adjust this rod shorter. Okay, so I need to unscrew this. That's in neutral. This needs to come back basically the width of one nut. And there is an adjustment on the other end. So if I unscrew this again. Oops. So if you can see this, I need to soak this in WD-40 and move it back about 5mm. And then I should be able to engage gears. Oh, what a pain. Okay, quick recap of what I've just done by lying under the car, not even jacked up, it's tall enough off the ground to lie underneath and get your arms above the prop shaft. I've just undone the rod I just reconnected over the last hour and pushed it forwards into neutral. So now I need to try and work out how to get the gear shift and that gear rod to be in the right place and actually work. So, step one, soak it in WD-40. That's really, really tight on there. Step two will involve a vise and maybe some heat. Right, here we have the control rod from the gearbox, clamped tightly in a vise after soaking in WD-40 for a couple of hours. Oh, it's actually turning surprisingly easily. Now, the thing is, I have a feeling I'm now turning this the wrong way, but only sticking it back in the car will tell. Now, I don't know if you can see the slightly cleaner area of thread just there next to the nut. That's about the distance I needed to adjust that. I've made this nubbiny thing here a different length, and hopefully that's going to be the right length for me to make it work. Oh, I'll put the camera down there, the GoPro, so hopefully it'll point roughly in the right direction. It probably won't be. Oh. You probably can't see much because I can see virtually nothing, and this is the worst view looking through the camera. Oh damn it, what's the thing on? Both the gearbox and the gear shifter are in neutral, and this is slightly too long, so I need to wind this thread up a wee bit more. Now, playing find the bit in the big trays and boxes of stuff I've got littering the garage is quite a fun game. I've got four, I had four a second ago, hoses which went various places in the engine. These two, I think, probably came from a 2-litre car. so not what I'm looking for. This one almost certainly goes to a radiator, come down here, maybe like that. I need to go and get the radiator out of the other lockup so I can work out what goes where. That one probably goes there. This one, which I've dropped, I think goes here. Maybe that was the 2 litre one. This must be the V8 one. That will probably go approximately like that, but I could take them off for the moment because I have left the radiator in the other garage. The thing I was going to fit, because I lost it twice, so this bit here is a distributor clamp. It sits underneath that bolt just there and holds the distributor nice and tight. It's a bit rusty and manky, so I will quickly clean it up and give it a quick splash of paint before I put it back on the car, because that will look a lot nicer then. So this thing here, this insanely expensive little lump of metal, just screws in the back of the oil pump down here. Or does it go on the side of the oil pump down here? I'm not sure it really matters which one goes where. Why doesn't it screw in? Oh great, the thread's wrong, that's helpful. Okay, so weirdly the thread seems to be wrong for this particular thing. It does not want to screw into the oil pump at all. I've tried taking the basic oil warning light sensor out, and that one screws into either one of the 2 sockets. So the thread is good, but this thread must be different, which is quite annoying. So that's going to have to go back for a refund in the morning. Quite annoying. Never mind, in the meantime I'll just check that the oil filter does actually fit, because that would be quite nice to have that in there. I'm now no longer dropping and changing the angle, yes it does screw on properly, the angle of the engine, so I can fill that with oil when I come to the time to actually start this for the first time. But if I have it on there I know it's good and working. Right, next up I will change out this hose at the back of the engine to be replaced with this one here, which goes from the back of the inlet manifold up to the heater, because then I can then sort out the throttle mechanism, because that sits above it if it's not too rusted in place, which I suspect it might be. Oh, no, that's rusted as anything. Damn. It's another fun one to sort out in the morning. Right, here we have the Rover P6 oil filter, which fits perfectly. Now what I've just found is that the Rover P6 oil pressure gauge sender doesn't screw into this, which means that somehow this is an SD1 and P6 weird combination. This is, I don't know, this is a mix of parts that have come to me in this car. So by the magic of television, I've just ordered from, I think this is from Rimmer Brothers, a SD1 oil pressure sender, which thankfully is half the price of the P6 oil pressure sender. So it's £45 rather than 90, and the first shop said they would happily accept the other one back, which is nice. Whoops. Just check this. Whoop. Go on, get in you go. Yes, this does fit. There's a little brass washer in there, but I'm just checking the thread works. Okay, so I've now got a P6 oil filter and an SD1 pressure gauge sender unit in what I thought was an SD1, and then I thought it was a P6 oil filter, so I have no idea what I've got anymore. And here is that clamp with a bit of VHT paint on it, looking much nicer. What's this side to do now? Well, that didn't go particularly well. Got it almost lined up, but another sort of 2 turns away from it where it needs to be. Unfortunately, as I was turning it into the receiving end on the gearbox linkage, it just wound up to the point where it wouldn't undo anymore, and so in order to undo it and loosen the nut a bit more, I've now got to drop the gearbox again, which is really annoying. And as we've got to go out in a minute, that's not going to happen today. So as this kind of has taken a little while to get this video together, I've been sort of doing it on and off over about a week. In fact, someone asked in a comment the other day, it's actually quite an opportune time to answer that, how come there's lots more driving car videos than workshopping videos? A very opportune moment, in fact, to answer that, because yeah, it's exactly this, where I've started a job, had to leave it a couple of days, come back to it, got stuck, and now it's going to be a couple more days before I complete this job. So this is where I'll leave it and complete the video as it is now. But yeah, one other bit of good news I had this week, which is rather unexpected. I haven't got the exhaust manifolds on yet, which is going to be quite a big thing. I didn't know really whether to use the original 3.5 litre manifolds and exhaust, which is going to be very restrictive, but will fit. Someone gave me some slightly freer flowing kind of handmade manifolds a while ago, but then I've not got anything to link them to the wire pipe into the main exhaust, so they would be better, but I would need some fabrication. But then the guy who trailered the Alfa Romeo away the other day, turns out his workshop where he runs, they do custom exhaust fabrications down there. So I think what I'll do, well, I've got a choice really. Do I send the non-running car over there and get him to put an exhaust on it, and then I can just fire it up and do all the braking with the new exhaust, or I can put the old exhaust on and then get it running and working and then sent over to him for the new exhaust later on. Ooh, there's yet another choice to make. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, please hit like, please hit subscribe. Any thoughts, drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you again, probably on the knackered convertible I expect, but I'd prefer to be on the Mercedes.